You don't understand how much research I've done on this topic. I've watched all the YouTube videos. I've even reached out to all the people that I follow on Instagram with these cars, why they went with a BRZ or what they like about the WRX, and I even flipped a coin. So should you go with a BRZ or a WRX? I'm gonna provide the reasons why I ultimately went with a BRZ instead of a WRX, and maybe it'll help you in your situation if you're in a similar situation. Maybe these reasons will help you pick one over the other. This is less practical. Now hear me out, it sounds like a negative. When I got my GTI, I wanted something that was kind of like a do-it-all car, where it was practical. I was able to drive people when I needed to. It was roomy. It could make big trips to Costco and haul everything. But yet it was also like sporty and fun when it was just me and taking up to the twisty mountains. So that's why I got the 4-door GTI back in 2016 instead of the 2-door when it still offered it. The GTI did all that. It was super practical, could haul all types of things. Also could drive up, even up to like 5 people moderately comfortably. And overall, it was just a great one-car daily driver solution. And that's kind of exactly how the WRX is marketed. It's 4 doors, roomy, you can have baby seats in here, haul 5 passengers, but yet when it's just you, it still has the power and the nimbleness to go around the mountains and, you know, be sporty and fun with it. But that. I hate driving people now. BRZ, 1 other passenger, and that's it. I remember when I first got my GTI, after like a few weeks or something, I was picking up my friends, and I think they were wearing, I guess, like really thick heels or something. After I dropped them off, I found like a dent on the bottom door sill where there's the light bar. And after I dropped my friend off, I think their heels or whatever made contact with it, and now there's a dent in that part. And it's like, I'm not gonna ask them to replace it, you know, it's whatever, it's fine. The car still works, but I would rather not have that on the car. So for me, I don't have kids. I don't need the back seats. I don't have to put like baby seats anywhere in the car. So it being less practical, it's perfect for me. Now with that in mind, it is actually pretty spacious in here, the cargo space. If you fold the back seats down, you actually get a lot of stuff, and I'm pretty sure you can fit a Costco trip into it. And I've seen people that you can actually fit a full set of wheels in here with tires. It's small and compact, way smaller than a WRX, given that it's a coupe, and I love that about this car. Me personally, I hate big cars and I hate sedans because I always feel like the trunk is like a wasted section of the car, just sticks out, and if there's nothing in it, then it's just nothing in it, and you still have a trunk, and it makes the car so big. Does that make sense? I don't know, it makes sense in my head. That's why I love wagons and hatches. So like Audi RS5, RS5 Sportback, TTRS. That's why I even got my GTI in the first place, because it was a hatchback. RS6, the Honda Civic Type R, that's a hatch, that's pretty cool. And the GR Corolla, those are like my favorite cars because it's not a sedan. So I was upset, even the last generation, when they took away the hatch of the WRX. And I think if they had a hatch this generation, I probably would have considered it a bit more. And another reason why it being small and compact works for me is because I live in New York City. So most of our parking situation is street parking, and sometimes you just have to squeeze into the smallest, tightest spaces, and you just gotta make it work, or you go look for another spot for another hour. And my GTI was great with that because it would just fit into anything. Not as small as a smart car, but it could fit into like the tightest spaces. And the same with this. If there's even just enough room, I could make it work, and this is perfect for that. I just hate big cars. So like the BMWs, even like the modern M3s and M4s, they're like so huge, even though they're a coupe and they're so long. Or even if you go as far up as the 5 Series, anything 5 Series or above, those things are like massive. I think my car is half of a 5 Series. Those things are like you're driving boats. People say that the Challengers are boats. No, the BMWs are boats. When you're driving, when you're like, I hate having to figure out where my bumper starts or where my bumper ends, or like how wide it is, or like if I can squeeze into X amount of space. This next point might be a bit controversial, but I think the BRZ has more modern features than a WRX. Now I know this isn't supposed to be like a luxury car with all the massaging seats or anything like that, but it does help when you're driving around. Like some features are pretty nice to have. So for starters, I got the limited trim, and there's only 2 trims on this car. The premium, which is the base model, or the limited. Whereas the WRX has like 5 different trims. The base, then the premium, then the limited, TR, and then the touring one or the GT one that only comes in a CVT. This is the premium trim, which apparently is the trim that everybody recommends you get, that it's like the best bang for your buck. So not the base, but just one step above that. So with the limited trim on the BRZ, what you get is fake Alcantara ultra suede seats and the padding all over, the 18-inch wheels, the heated front seats, and the LED responsive like steering headlights. Now the premium trim of the WRX, which is what you see a lot in dealerships, they're the ones that like get made the most, and I guess it's the most popular trim. This should have been the base model, but what you get with the premium is you have fog lights, 18-inch wheels, heated seats, and keyless push button start. If you go up one more trim of the WRX to the limited, you do get kind of all the stuff that I mentioned that you get in the BRZ. The ultra suede Alcantara seats with the WRX in the headrest, which is pretty cool. And you get the LED steering headlights, and you even get the Harman Kardon premium sound system and a moonroof. But once you start hitting the limited trim and you start adding all the add-ons and then the dealership fees and the taxes, it ends up being like way over 40,000. I wanted to stay under 40,000, and in fact even like under 35 if I could have, but all these fun sporty cars now start at like 30. Granted, you do get more car with the WRX, but like I said earlier, I don't need more car. I don't want more car. I don't have kids. I don't need back seats. I don't need room for baby seats, so I don't need the 4 doors. And then at the same time, the moonroof in the limited trim is standard, and I don't want a moonroof. And me coming from a Volkswagen, especially the Mark 7 GTIs, the MQB platform, all those moonroofs it was a known issue for them to leak, to crack, and I've seen people replace it a million times and the same thing happens. I'm not saying that happens with Subarus, but having a moonroof pretty sure increases the chances of having leaks like that, and it adds more weight. So I'm like, I just don't want it. And no matter what trim you get on the BRZ, you don't have one, and I love that. Additionally, I personally feel like on a 2024, 2023 car, this WRX, the dash, is still analog. Now I know some people like that, and more power to you, but I'm like, it's 2024. I would like a digital dash. I don't need one, but if I'm buying a car in 2024, I would like some modern features, and a digital dash is pretty cool, especially the one on the BRZ. And you even get like a track mode animation. When you put in track mode, the whole thing changes and it kind of looks like a S2000. And yet, I'm not saying an analog one is bad. Some people do like an analog one, and go for it by all means. And on top of that, I'm not the biggest fan of this infotainment system. I feel like this infotainment system, it wasn't WRX-ified. It was just put on and like, oh, it works. You know, it works, it's big, it's clear, but it didn't feel very WRX-ified. Like, it wasn't rally racer as this car is advertised. But for the BRZ, I'm like, this thing is cool, and I love the physical buttons on this car. I know it sounds kind of hypocritical of me once I just said that I want a digital dash, but I want the physical buttons. Infotainment, touchscreen, Apple CarPlay, very back to basics, and all the climate control, physical knobs. Did you know the BRZ actually comes standard with a short throw shifter installed on all models? Can't say the same about this one. Now, with all that being said, I think I made the right choice. I love my BRZ, I love the blue, I love the compactness, but don't get me wrong, I still enjoy the WRX. I think the looks grew on me. I don't mind the black fenders. It does look very rally, racy inspired, especially on a white or a blue car. And who knows, maybe the next generation of WRXs that come out, they're gonna bring back the STI. Hopefully it's not fully electric. Maybe they'll bring back the hatch or even a wagon. I think they have a STI wagon in Japan for this generation. Of course, we don't get the cool stuff here in America. If you're somehow in a similar pickle as I was, hopefully these 3 reasons that I provided helped you make your decision, if you're gonna make your decision. If you have any specific questions about either cars, I'll try my best to answer them. If you leave them below, if I can answer them, maybe someone in the comments can hop in. And yeah, thanks for watching, especially if you made it this far, and catch you on the next one.